This video will go over how to create a territory hierarchy using MapBusinessOnline. At this moment, our Pro version, is the one that has this feature. Standard has the ability to create territories based on zips, counties, and states, and Pro has the ability to group territories into regions and then regions into divisions. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to start with a territory map, and we have instructions and videos on how to create territories. I just created them by zip code. The first thing I want to show you is how to make those state lines up here. So we can see that we have it broken up by state, but if we want those state borders to overlap on those territories, we can go to our map and data box, click and highlight the states layer, and drag it above territories so that they appear. If I were to click on the settings gear to go into manage map and data at the states level, I could change that to black and make that really stand out. I also can go into territories and have a transparency bar that I can make more transparent or less transparent depending on how you go. I typically leave my territories probably halfway so I can see those and see the underlying areas as well. For the sake of this video, to make it clear, I'm going to leave it on 0% so that we have essentially no transparency. And I'm going to close out of this for now, and we'll go ahead and start creating some regions. So creating a region is very similar to creating a territory in MapBusinessOnline. I can just go ahead and click anywhere in, and our select geography box pops up. And this is essentially the program asking what you're looking to click on. Are you looking to click on the entire territory, or are you looking to click on just that individual zip that we clicked? I'm grouping territories into regions, so I'm going to click that territory, click continue, and I'm going to hold down the shift button on the keyboard and select my next territory. I will then click my new region button, and I'll just give it a name, create, and it automatically the data window pops up, and you can change the color if you want to something else. And you can see what's within each region. I'm going to click off in the ocean just to give that color back, and you'll now see that we have regions listed in the map and data box on the left hand side. We can toggle that on and off, toggle it off if you want to see the territories, or we can turn the territories layer off if we just want to see that region. So I'll just go ahead and start creating more regions. And I'll do one more here. Okay, so now we have our 3 regions created so far. And one thing I'd like to show you is if you want to make this look a little cleaner, we can remove those underlying zip code lines on this region level. We can do it on the territories level as well, but if I go into the regions for Manage Map and Data, I can click on this box that says Hide Internal Boundaries, and this makes it a little bit more seamless, which might be nicer if you're creating a PDF or a JPEG or a PNG. I have territories created up in Alaska, and I have some for Hawaii as well. And what I've done for Alaska is I've created one territory by county, and I've created one by zip code. Typically, well, in MapBusinessOnline, when you're creating a territory, they all have to be essentially on the same geographic level if you want the labeling and everything to look correct. But with MapBusinessOnline Pro, if you're creating a region, you can group county territories and zip code territories together. So I just wanted to show that off. So I'm going to just go ahead and click on my territory, my zip code, hold down the shift button, click on my county territory, and I'm going to click new region. Create. And actually, while I as well click on Hawaii as well. Click edit region, and this time I'm going to click add to my Pacific region. So it works very similar to the way that territories are created in the program. So the next thing I want to show you is labeling. And labeling is done at the region and division level, the same way that it would be territory level. I'm going to just go ahead and turn off my territories for now. And just leave my regions. And if I go into regions, I can go into Manage Map and Data and click on that Labels. And I can click Format Labels, and I can pull information from any of my data sets that I brought into the program. I brought in one for breweries across the US, and so I'm going to leave it on count so I can see the number of breweries. and I made up some sales information. So I'm going to just show that as well, sales, and so when I click change labels, I have that included as part of my label. If I wanted to, I could change that background color for the region label as well. And you can see my breweries data set here that I previously brought in, so I can see all of the count and the sales information for each of those little stars on my map. This can also be done at the division level as well. So next, we'll go ahead and create divisions, and it's the same idea as before. We're going to click on a region, and you'll see the word new division here. I'm going to hold down the shift button on my keyboard and click my central region and click new division. Click create, and now we have that third layer. These other two. Change that color. If we're going to manage map data at the division level, I can go ahead and click hide internal boundaries for that as well. And so now we'll see in my map and data box that I have my divisions, regions, and territories listed here, and I can just toggle them on and off as needed. Next thing I want to show you is the data window, and so if we click on the little calendar thing at the top to pull up our data window, we can click our pull down list, and we can do things like click on our zip code layer if we wanted to export all of those areas. This is a boundary zip code layer for all across the United States, and if I click this choose columns button, then I can add information like I added the territory, region, and division. So if I wanted to, I could remove them if needed and just leave my zips in the primary state. Or if I wanted to add those to my map, I can bring those over, bring over the region, the territory name, and the division. I could also, if I wanted to add demographic data, if I wanted to pull in some population data, set data columns, and then I can choose to export. And I can choose to export all the zips, the boundary zips. If I check this box, it'll also include point zip codes, which are the buildings that are associated with a zip code. So maybe a large post office has its own zip. You can check that box, and then I can choose to export all the records assigned to a territory. If you need to edit information underlying, you can easily do that. So if I wanted to edit some territories, I could uncheck my divisions, I could uncheck my regions, and leave my territory box just listed here. And so let's say that I wanted to remove some of these gray spots in Nebraska. I can choose my freeform tool, my search tool, grab that information, come back to the beginning, query those zip codes, and I can choose to move to a different territory. In this case, I'm going to do mid-central, click edit, and that'll just, actually let me do that again here. Zip codes, and I'm going to choose move to mid-central territory. There we go. Actually, I apologize, I moved it to the wrong one, so let me move that to, we're already in mid-central, so I'm going to move those to mountains and northwest, my mistake. And so now those will be reflected in your regions and divisions as well. If you have any questions, just let us know. We're available through phone, chat, and email. We have step-by-step instructions along with videos, and just let us know if you have any needs. Thanks and have a great day.